What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is a fantastic day for Marvel Rivals. We've still got about a month of Season 2.0 left, but the age of Ultron is upon us. In this video, I wanted to look ahead to the next hero drop. This is everything we know about Ultron before his release in Marvel Rivals. Real quick, guys, we're having a costume giveaway here on the channel where 2 lucky winners will get a hero skin of their choice from the Marvel Rivals store. The gifting system is a blessing. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, thumbs up the video, and leave a comment below with the hashtag Ultron. Winners will be announced when Season 2.5 begins, so there will be Ultron skins on the line. Good luck to you, and with that, here we go again! Alright guys, so this dude's been popping up everywhere, from the homepage when you first boot the game up, to the end screen after a match on Krakoa. We've even got his nameplate already in the Battle Pass, and we very recently got this really early look at what his icon in the character select wheel will look like once he's in the game. This image leaked a few days ago, and assuming this is an actual in-game screenshot, it confirms what his role will be. But before that, when exactly is Ultron dropping in Marvel Rivals? So the likely release date for Ultron is going to be May 30th, since that's when the current season of Ranked Mode rolls over. Season 2.5 should begin on the 30th, so that's the date we're looking forward to. Just over a month away as of recording this, so we still got some time. Before we talk about what we know about Ultron, though, I think it's worth mentioning what we don't know. I want to try to paint as complete a picture of the character as I can in this video, but with the missing context, it'll be a little tough. So right away, as of recording this, the info that we don't have is all the exact numbers. We don't know his HP, we don't know his damage values or healing values, and we don't know what his team-ups will be, if he even has any. It's reasonable to guess that he'll have one with Iron Man, but we'll just have to wait and see. Since he's a robotic character, it would make sense if he's tankier than most healers. I could see him having a solid 300 HP, if not more, but on that note, like we saw in that screenshot, and of course based on the earlier leak showing his abilities, he's clearly going to be a strategist, which is excellent because I hear we're having a healing strike in the game at the moment. Necros is apparently making the strategist mains mad, but I guarantee it's not going to last when Ultron releases. Once he's out, everyone will be a healer main again, everyone's going to hardlock him on day one. It is what it is. Ultron as a healer is really cool though, because he can fly.
I fly now?
He will be the first healer that can zip around the map like Iron Man and Star-Lord and pull off some long distance healing. He seems to be a single target healer too, meaning instead of specializing in healing a big group all at once, his skills are more tailored to support just one teammate and keep them alive for as long as possible. So let's check it out. Let's look at his abilities that leaked and break down how he's likely supposed to be played. So this image leaked months ago when the game first dropped, and we're going to be using it as a guide. Assuming nothing has changed, this will be Ultron's kit when he releases. So his primary attack, the left click, the right trigger, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be called Encephalo Ray, and the description here in the image says, unleash a burning energy beam. It doesn't specify whether it damages enemies or heals teammates. I think it actually does both, even though the description is really vague, and I'll come back to why once we get to his ultimate ability. The next 2 abilities have to do with his flight, and this is what really makes Ultron interesting, because I don't think he's a flyer in the same way that Iron Man, Human Torch, and Storm are. I think he's actually closer in line with Star-Lord, and I'll explain. So his dynamic flight ability, just like all the other flyers, it lets him speed up and fly freely through the air. What's not clear is whether or not there's a time limit, the same way that Iron Man and Human Torch have a time limit on their boost, so we don't know how much flight time we get. But because of his next ability, I actually don't think he's in the air permanently. I think he's kind of like Star-Lord, where he lands on the ground and can walk and run around, but he has the option to also fly, and it has to do with his passive, which is a slow fall. He's got a slow fall just like other characters like Magneto, Scarlet Witch, Namor, so I think he's the kind of character that will still be running around on the ground, but the dynamic flight ability is what gets him airborne. Because the slow fall implies that he's not going to be in the air all the time, right? So I get the sense he's kind of a hybrid between a flyer and a ground hero, just like Star-Lord. Now for his active skills, this one is called Imperative Patch. This is his E ability. It's likely going to be one of the bumpers on console, but here he summons a giant drone that targets and follows a teammate around, and it grants them healing, and it heals any other teammates that are within the radius. This Imperative Patch ability is probably going to be the bread and butter. I'd imagine that this drone is going to have its own health bar, and it will probably be a target for the enemy to shoot down. So I'm guessing it'll be effective as another distraction that the opponents have to address, kind of the same way that they have to address Moon Knight Onks or Namor Squids. It's just another target for them. This ability sounds really strong by itself, but it works even better with his next ability, Imperative Firewall. This one also summons drones that grant bonus health to allies within range, but they mostly focus on Ultron himself and the teammate that is marked with Imperative Patch. It's just drones on top of drones. Tanks, it's really sounding like tanks are probably going to be Ultron's best friend here. The idea being that you mark a tank who is focusing on an objective with Imperative Patch, and then once they have that healing drone on them, you hit them with Imperative Firewall for even more healing, and it keeps you alive at the same time. You can do this for a tank that's on your team and make them virtually invincible, or you could do this for a dive DPS on your team and give them an easier time in taking out the back row. And that brings us to his ultimate ability, Rage of Ultron, where he summons Ultron drones to fire encephalo rays, damaging enemies or healing allies, is what the description says. And this is why I wasn't clear on his primary attack, Encephalo Ray, because these drones that he summons, according to the description, they can either damage enemies or heal teammates. And since it's the same move as Ultron's primary, I'm inclined to believe that the primary will also heal, even though it doesn't say it does. So with all of this info about his abilities, what's his playstyle really going to be like? I mean, it's going to come down to the player, obviously, but here's how I see it. So with Ultron, you want to get a bird's eye view of the objective with dynamic flight. So you're going to get up in the air and really see what you're working with, get that information. From long range, you're going to place Imperative Patch on an important teammate and keep them healthy. Either best used on tanks or other high health heroes that are capping objectives, or maybe even better used on a DPS that's attacking the backline. Imperative Firewall will provide yourself and that teammate even more healing, making them virtually invincible, and the extra health that you get should cushion you while you heal other teammates. The ultimate can be used as either a support ult or an offensive ult, and by making the Ultron drones, it gives the enemy team way more targets to focus on, kind of like Loki's illusions. It's a healing ult that doubles as some additional DPS and triples as a distraction. Rivals really has a lot of abilities that create additional targets, like Namor Squids, Moon Knight's Onks, the shield abilities, Loki's clones, Emma's team up with Psylocke and Mag, etc. There's a lot. The game is already chaotic enough as a 6v6, but with all these extra things going on in the battle, it makes it even messier. And I think Ultron is really going to contribute a lot to the madness with all of these drones that he's spawning in. I'm sure players will quickly find the best playstyle for Ultron as soon as he drops. The way I see it, he's best used in a sort of buddy system. Pick a teammate, stick with them, keep them alive the entire game. That kind of seems to be what his abilities are geared towards. The last thing I wanted to bring up about Ultron is the skins, and I guess this could have gone in the section for information that we don't know, but we actually kind of know a little bit. As far as skins and costumes, we really only know of two that are possibilities right now. The base form that we see here, which is very likely just his default look, and Xtron, who we can see in this match end screen. We can talk about the lore in another video, but this design is clearly after Ultron has taken over Cerebro and got himself a new shell. These are the only two skins that we've really seen so far, but I'm sure there will be more. He's likely to get one as a ranked reward for Season 2.5, just like how we got skins for Sue and Johnny last time. The new characters always drop with at least one skin option in the store, and this actually brings me back to how I started the video. Don't forget about the costume giveaway, guys. All you have to do is be subscribed, like the video, and drop a comment below, and that's all you have to do to be in contention, and that Ultron skin will be on the line. But with that, guys, that is everything we know about the next hero drop, Ultron, in Marvel Rivals. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd really appreciate the thumbs up. That'll also get you into the costume contest, so it's a win-win. If you're new to the channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing for more Marvel Rivals content. But with that, that's all from me. This has been Star. Keep shining, baby.